So the last conversation where I read a story that I shared on the blog was a sexuality conversation, and I found that a lot of people really appreciated the video format. So I figured that I could do a video and post the text on my blog. It's really hot. It's summer in San Francisco, as always in October, and it's very warm. So enjoy my sweaty face! I get anxious when asked, "How are you?" I can tell you what I've done, who I've helped, and what needs I see. But as an Enneagram Type 2 titled The Helper, I get so wrapped up in finding my purpose in helping others that I often am not easily in touch with my own needs and emotions. This doesn't mean that my needs magically disappear. Instead, I repress and hope that in helping others, my needs will be met. This places heavy expectation on my loved ones to read my mind and fill the needs that I myself can't identify. If my motives for helping are called into question, or my help seems unappreciated, I become aggressive and dominating towards the very people I'm trying to help. Or I overextend with helping, so much so that I end up hiding in my room, not wanting to talk to anyone because I have zero energy to be on. I'm insecure. I fear being forgotten, left out, and rejected. So I make myself indispensable. I do this by having a function in all my relationships so that people rely on me. To quote Cheap Trick, I want you to want me, I need you to need me. My controlling nature exists to decrease the chances of rejection. I make it impossible for me to be forgotten by planning most social gatherings. Every year I battle to not plan my own birthday, but every year I fear I'll be forgotten and end up planning it months in advance. Mark your calendars for November 17th. 2 weeks ago, my friend was planning a party and sent a group email to about 20 friends. One friend let him know I wasn't on the email thread, and he promptly forwarded the message to me and wrote, "I have no clue how that happened." She remembered, he sincerely apologized, and yet I can't shake the hurt of being forgotten. This insecurity does not only apply to my friendships, I also try to make myself indispensable to God. I strive to seem holy and selfless to my Creator and others by prioritizing the care of others over myself. God couldn't possibly want healing and redemption for me. I'm supposed to be a living sacrifice and give until I'm dead for the widows and orphans in this world, which is everyone but me. So I'm simultaneously insecure and an egomaniac. I love others to love myself. I struggle with a feeling of deficiency and try to fix it by loving others in the hopes that the love and thanks they give me will fill that lacking. And I used to scoff at Jesus when he said his yoke was easy. Being obsessed with earning God's approval sure did not feel like a light burden. When I was on a silent retreat with my community 2 years ago, I sat on a musky sofa in the cabin's den and asked God to speak to me. I expected a list of areas of improvement, suggestions for people to encourage, or direction on job identity. Instead, all I got was, "You are loved." I broke down crying. In 10 years of being a follower of Jesus, I finally felt my Creator's love. It wasn't some distant idea or cheesy Christian catchphrase. It was truth, and somehow, this time, I actually believed it. That retreat, a rough breakup, and studying the Enneagram led me to take on a 40-day experiment in solitude, where I would confront my people-related insecurities. Daily, I spent an hour alone, and weekly, I went on an outing that I normally would do with another. These included going to a movie, a concert at the venue appropriately named The Independent, a seminary preview night, 2 parties with mostly couples, and a culminating Saturday night date. For 40 days, I was liberated from fixating on another's needs. I chose where I sat in the movie or stood at the concert. I didn't wonder if I was making good conversation. I turned my sensitivity towards others onto myself and asked, "How are you feeling?" The solitude taught me to be friends with myself. In appreciating time alone, I discovered I was likable. I was fun, creative, and hilarious. In glimpses, I got to see myself how my Creator must see me. I appreciated my unfiltered and animated reactions to the movie, which was True Grit, and my terrible white girl dancing at the concert, which was Dan Deacon. Through this experience and daily stillness prayer, I remember my identity as God's beloved. By physically not moving, I remind myself that nothing I do will increase or decrease my Creator's love for me. I finally get what Jesus means by his light burden. When I take time to connect with God's love and care for myself, I feel free from insecurity and stress. I can embrace the truth that I'm not unwanted, forgotten, or rejected. I'm then able to celebrate my identity as someone who sincerely loves to help because, from this new perspective, I'm not expecting to receive anything back from anyone. Except for right now. I'm expecting, well, at the time I said snaps and claps so people would applaud at the end. Blog comments? Affirmation via social media? Anyways, it was a really great evening, and we challenged folks to take on a practice but embracing their Enneagram type. So for the next 4 weeks, we've asked people to borrow, buy, check out from the library an Enneagram book, and to read, your type's chapter. Do 1 or 2 of the integrative activities that the book suggests for your type, and do that for 4 weeks. And then write your own 800-word story. So these stories were all 800 to 900 words that folks shared that evening, to talk about how you related to your type, how the integrative practice went. And then you're going to bring those stories to my apartment in 4 weeks, and we'll have kind of a casual evening of people sharing their stories, discussing how the experiment went. We found that these conversations have been great spaces for people to connect and hear stories on an authentic level, but we also want to make sure that we encourage folks to take a step to actually live out and practice some of the things we discuss as a group. So hopefully we'll see some of you in 4 weeks at my apartment. Okay, have a good day, guys.